Live from ABC 7, this is Eyewitness News.
Right now in Eyewitness News at 6 o'clock, 1 million Californians have now tested positive for COVID-19, and that's 1/10 the total number of cases in the entire country. Hello, I'm David Ono.
And I'm Leyva. You're watching Eyewitness News at 6, live on ABC 7, ABC7.com, and streaming on the ABC 7 Los Angeles app and Hulu Live. Well, tonight, California becoming just the second state after Texas to hit 1 million infections.
Health officials are warning dire action must be taken to stop the spread of the illness, including talks of a possible nationwide lockdown. Our Jory Rand joins us now live with new information on this COVID fight. Jory.
Yeah, we are entering a very dangerous time period. We're seeing COVID numbers we haven't seen for months. And with Thanksgiving 2 weeks from tonight, there is fear it's going to be a very dark winter.
The United States in the midst of a full-blown COVID explosion. More than 150,000 new cases today, the highest single-day total ever, and the seventh time in the last 9 days the U.S. has set a one-day record. Hospitalizations rising in 46 states, including California, where today the state surpassed 1 million total cases since the pandemic began. Governor Newsom tweeting simply today, "Wear a mask as we careen back towards another possible lockdown."
Hopefully we won't have to do that. If we can do the public health measures, we wouldn't have to do that.
L.A. County topping 2,500 new cases today, nearly 1,000 people in the hospital, about 28% of them in the ICU.
This much of an increase in cases may very well result in tremendous suffering and tragic deaths down the road.
We're already seeing it in other parts of the country. In El Paso, Texas, the situation's so dire the Pentagon has sent 3 Air Force medical teams to help struggling hospitals. New York and New Jersey implementing 10 p.m. curfews, and fears the numbers could grow even more as families gather for the holidays. More than half of Americans say they plan to travel for Thanksgiving, and today, L.A. County and the CDC advising if you're going to gather with people from outside your household, wear a mask, stay distanced, and celebrate outdoors. And start planning now.
You actually need to be implementing those now. 14-day quarantine, and that is starting, right now. That someone needs to be putting themselves in isolation from others, and then testing.
So where is the President of the United States in all this? He seems to be ignoring the crisis. Now, there are reports he hasn't met with his COVID task force in months. His only mention of it on Twitter is to complain that good news about the vaccine came after the election. His successor, President-elect Biden, a member of his task force, a doctor, suggested a 4 to 6 week nationwide shutdown to get the virus under control. We put a call into Mr. Biden's team to see if that's something he wants to implement. We have not yet heard back. Reporting live, Jory Rand, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Jory, thank you. And Ventura County heading in the wrong direction on the COVID case count. Now health officials are sounding the alarm in an effort to control the spread of the virus and to keep from sliding back into that more restrictive tier. Eyewitness News reporter Sid Garcia has the latest.
Since October, Ventura County has been on the state's red tier of COVID-19 restrictions. Indoor dining for restaurants is limited to 25% capacity. Outdoor dining is allowed. There's a strong possibility Ventura County will go back to the most restrictive purple tier. That means struggling businesses like restaurants could find it harder to stay open.
We wouldn't be doing as well, and then things haven't been doing great so far.
As of today, Ventura County is reporting 72 new cases, bringing their total number to nearly 16,000. No new deaths to report. It's still at 171. Ventura County public health officials are concerned that the number of positive cases could send the county back to the most restrictive purple tier. The county's public health director explains why the numbers are going up.
The largest number of cases that we're seeing are in gatherings, especially larger gatherings. And so I really urge every Ventura County resident to think twice about the impact of your actions. As I've said before, your actions do matter, and they matter in particular this week because you avoiding large gatherings this week, you getting tested this week, you especially abiding by all the other guidelines, including mask wearing every time that you're around others, those actions will have an impact.
Ventura County public health officials are urging everyone to cover their face, physically distance, and if you think you've been exposed, get tested. The county's infectious disease expert is also asking you to make the sacrifice of keeping your holiday gathering small.
It's really important that we continue to push through with this. This is the new way of life, and we kind of just have to adjust for it for now.
Ventura County public health officials will be looking at the numbers on Sunday, and if they're good, the county stays in red. Then again, if they're bad, they'll go back to purple. In Ventura, I'm Sid Garcia, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
A shocking scene in a Pacoima neighborhood. This was the aftermath of a fiery plane crash that also set 2 cars ablaze. One person believed to be the pilot was killed, the plane missing 3 residential buildings along Sutter Avenue. Fortunately, no one on the ground was hurt. It happened just steps away from the Whiteman Airport runway. The pilot of the Cessna 172 called the tower as he approached.
And we've got a loss of engine power here. We're going to try and stretch it to the runway.
Okay, 439, roger. Runway is clear and you are clear to land.
And hopefully we'll make it.
Well, firefighters were able to keep the flames from damaging the nearby homes.
President-elect Joe Biden says he's not concerned about President Trump's refusal to let him read the daily ultra-secret intelligence briefings. Those are traditionally shared with an incoming president. But Biden says he doesn't need the briefings at this time since he can't make security decisions until he's in office. Trump, of course, has refused to concede the race and is continuing his unsupported claims of voter fraud. Meantime, Biden is heading to a Delaware beach to spend time with his family, his first break from the transition work since he became president-elect last weekend.
Well, the nights are still chilly these days, but it's beautiful in the afternoon. And Dallas Raines joins us right now.
Oh, that's right, David. We had the time-lapse going out of Malibu this morning where at sunrise it was 45 degrees. It did make it this afternoon all the way up to 65 in Malibu, but it was a gorgeous day. A lot of sunshine, very little marine layer. We had a little fog down on the coast, but not much. Big Bear this morning was down to 25 degrees. Lancaster was 29. Check out Woodland Hills, 37. But at Woodland Hills today, they had the warmest temperature in the valley. They hit 76 degrees. Bigger temperatures, higher numbers are coming. I'll see you in a few minutes.
All right, Dallas, thank you.
Thanks, David.
Well, by now, you've probably heard health officials urging everyone to rethink Thanksgiving this year. With COVID cases surging again, they advise against traveling to other cities or hosting families from out of town. But AAA predicts many people will not heed that advice. It is in its annual forecast, AAA anticipates nearly 4 million people in Southern California will travel for Thanksgiving this year. And that would be a drop from last year, but only by about 13%.
The automated People Mover project at LAX broke ground in 2019, and due to the decrease in travel this year, its construction is speeding up. Inglewood community journalist Ashley Mackey gives us an update.
This week, LAX removed a pedestrian bridge to make way for the new People Mover station. The People Mover, scheduled to be completed in 2023, will be an automated electric train system that will operate on a 2.25-mile path with 6 stops. The demolition of this bridge was originally not planned to occur until late next year.
With the decline in passenger volume during the COVID pandemic, we've been able to actually accelerate some of the work, especially here in the central terminal area.
The train will transport travelers in and out of the central terminal area and connect them to a new rental car facility.
We will absolutely revolutionize the way that our guests access and come to and from LAX. And we'll open up the traffic in ways that we haven't seen here at LAX before.
According to LAX in 2019, this was the second busiest airport in the U.S. with 88.1 million passengers. Justin says since the pandemic, the numbers have decreased, but they are slowly starting to rise again.
I just think that it would alleviate a lot of the traffic by not having as much cars at the airport.
It was horrible. It was so much traffic. It would take you at least like 30 to 45 minutes just to get through like the tunnel area, just to get into the airport. I do believe that train will help out even more.
Reporting from LAX, Ashley Mackey, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
A crucial decision today in a Trump administration-backed effort to abolish affirmative action.
The court ruled today in a challenge brought against an Ivy League school, and what happens next?
And new evidence supporting what scientists believe that ethnic minorities are at an increased risk for COVID, but now there's a new twist.
But first, you can help send kids some holiday joy. It is our 28th annual Spark of Love Toy Drive, and we are partnering again with SoCal firefighters and presenting sponsor Subaru to collect new unwrapped toys and sports gear for children and teens in need. And you can buy a toy online at abc7.com/sparkoflove, or you can text SPARK to 24365 to donate. Join us and share the spark of love.
Can you pedal your way to a better way of life?
We've been coming every single day, and we love it.
It's a bike club doing good in the neighborhood.
We are trying to help keep kids out of gangs.
The Southland Cycling Solution, showing kids a new path. Tonight at 11.